guys? Jenna Puzio here, founder of FillYourBooks.com, where we have helped thousands of beauty professionals grow their clientele to 6 figures and beyond, build a business that they love, build a life that they love, and just be overall happier. And today in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about how to pull yourself out of a burnout and just how to avoid one in general. And if you're in one now, things that you can do to start to pull yourself out of that situation. The first thing we're going to look at is, what does burnout actually look like? If you're watching this right now, you're like, am I burnt out? Are you dreading going to work? Are you lacking creativity? Do you find yourself stuck doing the same styles and the same techniques that it's just kind of almost like Groundhog Day? It's just the same thing over and over again. Maybe you're avoiding important activities, right? Maybe you're avoiding doing color orders and waiting to do it to the last minute, or you're avoiding, cleaning up your space, like cleaning up your salon, reaching out to clients, anything of that nature. Or maybe you're just in a constant bitter mood, right? Maybe you're in the salon all day, you come home to your partner, your significant other, your family, whatever it is, and you're just like, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. You feel like you have to decompress from your entire day, you can't have a personal life because you just dumped everything into your work, into the salon day, into your clients, so that you have your cup is so depleted that you have nothing left over. That could be a bit of burnout, right? You start to have resentment towards not only what you do, but your clients and your career. If you have resentment towards that, and that's the bulk of your life, right? You're going to have resentment towards yourself, and you're just going to be unhappy. So if any of these things, if you can relate to them or you're feeling them right now, know that it is so important to pull yourself out of it, but also know that you're not alone, right? I've been in this spot. Most of the students, when they join Fill Your Books, are at this spot. Like I said, I've worked with thousands of hairstylists, and at some point or another, we have felt this way. So don't beat yourself up. You have to be aware is that you are the only one who can pull yourself out of this. You. The reason why this is so important is because if you are not happy, your clients will feel it. Because providing a service, we are service providers, right? It's a transfer of energy. And if your energy is in lack, let's call it, because you are feeling resentful towards this career or towards yourself, and you're just in burnout, scarcity mode, your clients are going to feel it, because you are constantly selling yourself and your service. The reason you're constantly doing that is because you are not guaranteed that this client is going to come back to you, right? I don't care if a client has been coming to you for 5-10 years. There is no guarantee that they will show up to their next appointment. So it is your job to constantly make them feel not only just welcome and comfortable and safe, but they want to continue to come to see you. Because at the end of the day, everyone down the street, we don't deny it. There are plenty of service providers who do what you do just as well as you do in your area, right? What's going to make you different? And if you are someone who's not in line energetically because you are feeling burnout, that's going to bleed. So that's why this is so important to pull yourself out of it, right? But the beautiful part is that this is in your control. You have 100% control over this, right? And I have my notes here in front of me. That's why I don't want to miss anything. But the way that you're going to start to pull yourself out of this are the 3 C's, right? And that's consciousness, control, and clarity. The first one we're going to talk about is consciousness. That's basically just awareness and realizing what's even going on in my life, right? Because I think when we're burnt out, it can be very easy to kind of just be on that hamster wheel, right? That Groundhog Day effect that I was talking about, and your head's kind of underwater. You're living, but you're not really aware and conscious of what's actually going on in your life and what's going on around you, because you're numbing yourself of all of your feelings, because on the inside you feel like crap. Right? You feel shitty. So, because of that, our brain is trying to keep us safe, and you kind of just go into autopilot. So, first step is to pull yourself out of autopilot and really sit down and ask yourself some questions like, do I enjoy the environment I'm in? Right? And when I say environment, whether that could be personal or business, right? Do I like the environment that I live in my personal life? Do I like the environment that I'm in behind the chair? Do I like my clients? Do I enjoy the services that I'm doing? Am I aware that every action has a reaction, right? Am I aware that all the things I've been avoiding maybe are affecting how I feel? Am I aware of the things that I do on a daily basis? Am I aware of my habits? Am I aware of that I have been, like I said earlier, maybe doing the same services over and over again, or doing the same kind of blowouts or the same techniques of highlights? Am I aware that are you aware that you've even been doing the same thing over and over again, right? Pull your head out of the sand and just start to look around and really think about, okay, what's been going on in my life consistently on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that I like and that I don't like? What's been going on? Just start to get consciously aware. Number 2 is control. And now we're going to take control over the things that are in your control, right? First, we're going to become aware of what's actually going on. The next step is going to be, okay, I need to change some things that are in my control so that I can start to be happier, right? Because this video is for people who want to take action. This video is for people who are sick of sitting around, who are sick of feeling the way that they're feeling. If you don't want to improve your life, then get off this video. But if this is something that you truly want to take control over, because you do have the autonomy, I guess, you do have the ability to change these things, right? So we're going to take control over them. So now we're going to think about, when was the last time I even scheduled in a lunch for myself during my workday, right? When was the last time I took a walk outside for 15 minutes just to clear my head? When was the last time I took a class to boost my business or to build up my skill set? When was the last time I did something that made me passionate about what I do? When was who am I hanging out with, right? Are the people in my personal life or even in work life, do they have a positive impact on my life? That's part of being conscious, right? That's part of being aware. And if those people aren't uplifting you, it's time to, find a new crowd of people. How often are you scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through your phone throughout the day? Do you go just from working 8 hours behind the chair and then just looking at your phone for hours, then going to sleep and waking up and doing it all over again? Because that's a recipe for unhappiness, right? And guess what? All of these things you have control over. So now it's time to take control over those things. It's time to schedule in the things that you've been avoiding, right? Whether that's doing the color order, whether that's scheduling in a lunch, whether that's scheduling in time on my calendar so that I can go for a walk or I can exercise, or that's making sure that when I wake up, I'm drinking a glass of water. I'm making sure I'm hydrated. I'm making sure that your cup is being filled, right? Take control over the things that you can, that in time will lead to not only happiness, but just better overall mental and physical health. And when that is upgraded, your life will be upgraded, and you will realize how many options you truly do have that you can pull yourself out of that burnout, right? And then lastly is going to be clarity. You are going to have to get clarity on what you want out of your career and your life, because this clarity is going to be hard to find if you're starting from step 1 and you haven't pulled your head out of the sand with consciousness and started to take control of your life. Because if you're down bad in the burnout, you're probably sad, right? So we want to get our awareness up, we want to get our control up, take control over some things in our life, and then we're going to get some clarity. Then we're going to sit down and we're going to figure out, what do I want out of my career, my life? Do I like the services I'm doing? Do I like the spot that I'm in, right? Maybe you're a commission stylist and you've been thinking about going independent, and this is something that you're I have to make this move. Or you want to offer a new service. Or you really love blonding, but your schedule is just full of, let's say, root touch-ups and haircuts. And you're I don't get to do the thing that I want to do, right? Get clarity on the things that you want within your life and your career. Get clarity on the goals that you have. Because once you get clarity on those things, the path to get there then becomes a lot more clear. Because then you'll know, okay, what are the next steps I need to take? If you're someone that's interested in blonding, like the example that I just made, your next step is going to be, I am only taking new blonding clients. And then the next step after that is, I'm going to start giving away those clients that aren't within the guidelines of the life that I want to be living, right? That aren't going to fill my cup, that aren't going to make me happy. The moral of this lesson is, if you are feeling burnt out, if you are feeling those feelings of, I am not liking this career, I am not liking the situation that I'm in, I'm not hitting my goals, and I feel like I'm just constantly spinning my wheels with no return, the main thing to remember is that you have control over the way that you feel. You just have to make the right daily decisions and be consciously aware of the effect that they have. If you are currently in a burnout, is it going to be hard to pull yourself out of it? Yes. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but it is in your control. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take conscious awareness. It's going to take taking control over your daily actions, your input and output. And it's going to take having constant clarity on where you're at in your business and where you're trying to go. And these are in constant kind of repeat. These things never stop. Because if you stop doing them, even if you're in a place where you're super happy and you're really glad with where you're at in your career, if you stop assessing where you're at and you stop growing, it's okay to be in a spot that you don't necessarily like. That just means you're in a time in your life where you're going to grow. And that's exciting. And that's where the spice of life is, as I like to say, is when things maybe aren't necessarily going your way, but you have that like sense of realization of like, oh, this is what I have to do to pull myself out of it. I'm going to move in this certain direction. And that is very much in line with what we kind of teach with fillyourbooks.com. And what's beautiful about that is we have our online community where we can share those experiences with one another, share tips and tricks, and just have a space where we know we're not alone, right? Because like I said in the beginning of this video, we've all been in this spot in our career before. And there's no shame in being here. But if you want to stay in this career and you want to be happy and you want to make a lot of money and you want to love the services that you do, you want to love your clients, you just want to love your life behind the chair and not behind the chair, this is the path that you have to take. And if, like I said, if you're interested in having a community that has your back along this process, go to our website, go to fillyourbooks.com, send me a message on Instagram, at Jenna Puzio Hair, same thing on TikTok, at Jenna Puzio Hair, send me a message. I want to talk to you. I want to help you. This, like I said, this is something I'm very, very passionate about. And if this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, share it on your socials, give me a comment down below, and let me know if you want more videos like this or if you have a request for a video you want me to make. But until then, I will see you in the next video. See you guys later.